strange fate of this work because it was commissioned by Istanbul Summer Festival, very exotic place. It was, I think, a couple of years ago, 2014, I suppose, yes. And so I decided to choose something which connects the countries, old Constantinople and Russia, Byzantium and old Russia. So there is a certain correlation between the cultures and religion. And so I chose the poetry of Ephraim the Syrian, who lived in this region in the 4th century. And of course, I could use it only in Russian, in Old Russian, Old Slavonic, his poetry. Then the whole version of this piece could not be performed in Istanbul because the last movement, there was sudden change, political change in the country, and instead of Messa Byzantina, they proposed me to give another title, and also I had to exclude this last movement because of certain words like Amen, Alleluia, etc., etc. So it was performed only partly, 1 till 5th movement, and I gave the title "Crying in the Wilderness" to this piece. In this context, it was performed in Istanbul. Then I returned back to Missa Byzantina and added the 6th movement. So in Tallinn there was the first performance of the whole version of the piece. This is the story.
So you kind of self-censored your piece?
Actually, well, we always have to, how to say, to make a certain adaptation to the concrete situation. And I totally understood that when I received this call from Istanbul, please help us change the title. So I understood it was necessary for them.
So what is the message in Byzantine Mass? What is the key message?
How to say? I think the most important is, at least in the poetry, is to touch firstly yourself with what are you talking. When you are sincere with yourself, you can give this virus of sincerity, how to say, to another people. If you don't have love in your heart, if you are not sincere, then all the audience will be, all people you are talking with will be totally neutral. Or that's why I avoided, how to say, to write a certain sort of music, just cerebral or analytic music, which is also possible. It's another branch of contemporary music, but with such topics as, for instance, poetry of Ephraim, I think it's simply impossible to combine just cerebral way of thinking and this kind of poetry. So I wanted really to try to find a path to the human heart. If probably it sounds very old-fashioned, but the most simple things are old-fashioned. When we say, for instance, you say "I love you," you don't create a new language. You don't say something which is impossible to understand. And I think when you say that to your I don't know, to the girl you like or whatever, so you don't think how to tell it in the most sophisticated way, so only for just a small group of elite people. So that's why I also wanted to try. I did not want, I just wanted to find the most direct way to the human heart, if I may say so.